Hello, welcome back to Open Shutter, another Wednesday edition, and it's going to be an exciting show. You see the gentleman to my left, right? I'm not sure what's what, but we're missing Bryan, James, and we're missing Kobby. And I don't know, they might jump on later as a cameo, but today we're going to be digging into our photo archive because if you live in the province of Ontario, you can't leave your house for any reason except to buy groceries or walk your dog or whatever the case is. So we're all kind of like stuck digging through our photo archive, and we figure why not go through our own photo archive to show you how far we've come in our photography and how you can improve your own photography, which I think is super interesting because I think it's always easy to forget your early photos. And then when you look back on them, you see how much you've progressed. So I think that's kind of like the goal of today's show. And I got some really great photos to show you guys. So it's gonna be a great show. Never delete anything unless your hard drive fails on you. In that case, don't buy Seagate. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Because something happened to me the other day, and it wasn't very fun. Mr. McGowan, quick intro pitch.
Quick intro. My name is Bryan. I'm a photographer from Brampton, Ontario. Also shoot video. Also have a YouTube channel. You can see it down there. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And yeah, let's have a look at some of those awful photos from the past.
I don't say awful. I just say that's your experience level. I don't like saying bad.
Oh, they were terrible. That's
yeah.
It's okay, and that's okay. It's part of the process.
Sure.
You're going to screw up a lot, and it's okay to screw up a lot.
Okay.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the show. I'm excited about today's topic. And I was telling Paul earlier, I was going through some of these old pictures from 2016, 2017. And I was telling Paul earlier, I was going through some of these old pictures from 2016. This stuff was
Meeks, is it just near your mic?
Yeah.
Is your mic
off? Am I still echoing?
You're okay now.
You're okay now.
All right.
Yeah,
so I'm excited for today's show. Please do well to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to everyone on here. And I'm just a few 100,000 away from 1 million subscribers, so almost there.
Yeah, he just needs 1 million. You just got to 1 million, man. Don't be so greedy.
I just need 900.
You and Evans taking away all your subscribers.
All right, man.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Evans. I'm Brampton based, and I shoot weddings, events mainly. But I also do anything that tickles my fancy. So if I feel like doing something, I shoot it. But I mainly do weddings and events. But hanging out with Paul and Bryan and them, so I've tried a whole bunch of stuff, including portraits. Landscapes, light painting, still world, right? So those are passion projects, but I mainly do weddings and events and portraits. So it's going to be a fun night, I think, because I'm going through some of these pictures and I was just looking at the progression and the growth, and it's a little bit encouraging, So it's always good to maybe look back and see where you've come from, right? Because you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been, right? So totally. I think it's going to be a fun night. You guys get to see the worst periods in our careers and our journey in photography. And I think we can also share and learn a few things as we go along.
Yeah. Hey, Tony. Thanks for jumping on. Yeah, feel free to ask questions because this is for you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to all these guys in the panel here. If this is your first time on this live, we actually all have YouTube channels, and we just take turns hosting that's different photography topics. So if you guys have a topic that you would like us to talk about, message us. And if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Paul, based in Toronto. Run a photography meetup group called Get Out Shoot. Visit us at getoutshoot.com. We're doing lots of virtual stuff during the stay-at-home order. So that's going to be going on for a month. And check us out there for all kinds of cool stuff going on. Hey, Kim.
Hey.
No worries. The chat keeps me sane during the lockdown. Yeah, I know you got it.
Someone wants to know where Meek's blue light is.
Meeks, your blue light died, man. The blue light was good.
That's Mr. Katalist wants to know where your blue light is.
Kobby, I don't know. You should be on the show now. I don't know.
Meeks, I think you muted yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided to go dark mode today. Wait, who is asking?
Kobby.
Should he be on the show? Where you at, boy?
It's like you're not reporting to work or something.
It's like hanging out in the parking lot when you're supposed to be inside the work, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
okay. That's all right. So, guys, why don't I just kick this off? I guess I got to share my screen, which would be nice. Let me I went as far back as 2017. I don't want that one. I don't want that one. Yeah, actually, let's do this one. Do you guys have it on the screen?
I can see.
Yep.
It's small though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Can I enlarge it somehow? That?
There you go.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. So I think this is back in 2017, and this is probably one of our first photo walks with Get Out Shoot, and I think we were walking along college maybe, and I think the way that I started out is I just basically pointed my camera at anything that looked cool, and I just shot it with like no focus on settings whatsoever, as you can probably tell. But I mean, what drew me to this picture is like I just love the colors of this place, I guess, of this building, and you can tell here that I just like looking up, which I keep saying today. Like, always look up because you never know what's there. But this is just kind of like an early kind of like try at like architecture photography, and then I have like kind of like more examples to show you guys like as I kind of got better at shooting architecture. But I mean, for me, this is just how I started. I just kind of like shot my camera by pointing my camera and stuff and just click the button, and then after like over like a period of time, you just sort of get better because you understand like how your camera like works in like certain situations. I don't know if that's the way that you guys kind of started. You just kind of like pointed your camera and just started shooting stuff. But this is it was an interesting photo, even though it's not totally out of focus. But whatever.
I like the photo anyway.
Yeah, cool. I like it. It's just it's just like I was trying to look for something, right? And that's really like half the battle. Is you just gotta put in the effort. You gotta put in the work to try to grab a photo. But yeah, again, this is not even like 4 years old. This is like probably March, I guess, 2017. So it's not even 4 years old. So it's not that long of a time period.
Yep.
It really isn't.
True.
Through your photos like 2018, 2019, 2020. It's not that long of a time period.
No.
Because people spend like, years and decades, right? So so that's kind of like my first photo. You guys want to share kind of one of your first photos? Then we're going to kind of go around the horn.
I already have one queued up.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I like we do it at the end. So.
So I was looking at this, and then it's just like, what was I thinking? It was back.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Back when selective color was like a thing. I think this was
2016.
Yeah.
I also.
You remember? And then unfortunately my logo had color in it. So every time I put it on a black and white photo, it was just out of place.
Yeah.
Somehow I still put it on there, and it used to be much bigger than that. Now I don't have a logo at all.
Man, that's cool.
So like I'm looking at this picture right now. First of all, the ISO is off the charts. Secondly, the horizon, like, this just bugs me. Like, it's like I cannot see it. Yeah, I'm like, why can't I just have fixed that? Even the auto thing aligned in Lightroom would have done it for me. So it's just a few things that you realize that you not do to a picture today, and these are signs. Like if I see a photographer doing this now, something that I was doing like 5 years ago, or 6 years ago. That's just a clear sign that, dude, you just started. Like you need to learn more about the craft, and it's not just point the camera at the person dancing and shoot. Like you have to think about other stuff. So
yeah, it's also like these little things, like even like the horizon thing is a big thing for me now. Like it drives me absolutely insane when the horizon's off.
Right. Unless you are doing it for an artistic purpose, like if
unless you are,
leans and you're trying to balance. But most of the time, in all these old pictures, not most of the time, all the time that it was tilted, it was just because I wasn't paying attention to it. That's it.
Yeah.
Whew, I'm going to share one, but I'm going to go way back. Like this is
how far back?
This is even before I started shooting professionally. This is I think maybe about a few months after I picked up my first camera. So if I told you guys that the reason I started shooting was because of these girls, right? My twins. Yep. So I bought my first camera because of them. And this is, I think, about 6 months after I got my first camera. Because when they were born, they spent about 3 months to 5 months in the hospital. And when they came home, this was my first at-home photo shoot for them, right? So what I had was every month I did a photo shoot for them. So this was one of those. This was actually my first time trying to use lights, right? And this is in my living room. So I put up a backdrop in my living room, have them play around, and I was just shooting. So I had just picked up my first cheap lights off of Amazon, and I had it just flashing.
I have a guess. Were they continuous lights or they were flash?
No, actually, it was flash. This was
you started on a good foot.
Yeah, I actually bought the continuous light first, and then I returned it because it was too flimsy, right? And then I ended up buying this cheap. It was an actual Amazon Basics flash that cost me $25, and I still have it sitting somewhere behind me here. I keep it for remembrance, right? And I just pointed that at the ceiling, shoot it in the ceiling after watching so many YouTube videos, right? And you can see the backdrop is all crumbled and crooked. It wasn't straight up.
I love it. I love it.
It was just fun.
I love the photo.
And this was like, at the very beginning. This like early 2015, 2016, they were about.
I love the expression on their face.
Yeah. It was like one was trying to climb up on the other one.
They're fighting for the attention, right?
And if you can look at this image, I shot it with, I think this was a T5. And so Rebel T5, ISO 1600, even though I was using flash.
Yeah.
And the thing that I can tell you that never do this is if you look here, I'm shooting at f5.6 with a shutter speed of 1/30th of a second. Right. So I had no idea what I was doing. I had just got a camera, I have a lens, and I was just trying to learn.
Probably just the kit lens.
With just the kit lens, right? So you can see the 55mm kit lens I was using, the 18 to 50 something I think I was using, and it's funny, but you know, it's all part of the journey, right? From where it all started.
Yep.
Well, that's what it is. You just gotta start shooting stuff and not get so worried about like the mechanics. Just start shooting, and then you're gonna understand what ISO you're gonna need and what shutter speed you're gonna need. There's only so many YouTube videos you can watch. You gotta start doing stuff.
That's true.
Yep.
So this shot was actually taken the day I got my very first DSLR.
Great. I love the dogs. I love a dog look.
Just happened to pop by a friend's place, had a camera, and I was pointing it at everything and taking photos.
So you're just like looking at the dog, and then
new camera.
New camera, so it's like, all right, let's figure out how this thing works, and I just started pointing it at everything and taking photos.
How many shots of the dog did you take?
I honestly have no idea.
Did you take a lot of shots of the dog?
Probably a lot, but probably a lot.
I always find like I read that like to shoot like animals, whatever, you should get down to their eye level, and that's what you did here. You got
No,
down to
I thought it, because they had the black leather sofa, I thought it looked cool in the background.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that was with a Rebel T3 and the 18 to 55 kit lens. That's kind of where it all started.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
6 months later, I think I was shooting for a magazine in Brampton. So
yeah, a dog magazine.
No.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. That's how a lot of people start. They just start shooting stuff. Like everyone, like I don't know, everyone starts at zero, right? Like people always look at like people always go on Instagram and they look at all these great photos, but no one sees like the work behind it. They don't see like the 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years that goes behind those photos. And they all started at zero. Like, they probably started shooting dogs too. Like this is it.
You shoot whatever's available to you at the beginning.
Yeah, you shoot whatever's available. Especially like now during like lockdown, like you really got to get creative with stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like you really need to just think about, maybe even get back to basics a little bit and practice lighting and like look for like reflections and just like back to basics.
Yeah.
Take your camera.
Yeah. On that note, I will share my second image, which maybe ties into being creative and practicing when you get started. This is a self-portrait, right? One of the very first ones I ever did. Yeah, this is the young.
It's like a young boy there.
Yeah. This one was funny. So after I got that Godox flash, I mean the Amazon Basics flash, and at this time I was still shooting Canon, but I started getting to like flash a little bit more and wanted to learn more about flash. Then I realized that there's something called TTL. Then I realized that if I want to do self-portraits, I need to have a trigger so I can trigger it on myself. So I invested in a couple of, I think it's Young Newell.
Yep.
I think it's YN600. These were the top flashes for Canon at that time if you don't want to go the Canon brand. And I bought a set of 3 of these. They came with the triggers. And what I did was set it up with, I think it's this speedlight modifier from the kind of company name is Rogue. So if you guys, I don't know if you guys have ever used that. There's this speedlight modifier system called by the Rogue, and they have different models of those. They have the snoots, they have the gel one.
Okay.
I haven't used them in years, but what I did was cover the piece of with the grid one, and then just have the grid aimed right at my face so that everything else becomes black, right? So if you can look here, this is the actual texture of the backdrop that I bought from Henry's back then. And it's just the snoot of the grid pointed right at me. And it was just me. So I'll go up there, pose, and click with the trigger. And I was so excited that I could just trigger and fly on my own, right?
I like it, man.
That's the whole thing about being creative. Now that we are all stuck at home,
100%.
Figure out ways to be creative.
I like it. I like it. I like the framing,
the drama.
Yeah, there's it's like mysterious.
That would actually make a nice black and white image.
Yeah, I've always liked drama in my images, right? So even at the beginning, while I was still learning, I was learning to create drama. And that's why I actually got involved with learning to light earlier on, because I like the drama and the control that I have with Flash. So I can, create whatever I want to create whenever time of the day it is, because I'm controlling the light.
Makes sense. Good one, man.
All right.
Good stuff.
You got number 2, Meek.
Okay. Let's share this one right now. Okay, do you guys see it?
Ooh. Is this in Harrisburg?
Yes, this was in Harrisburg.
See the bridge.
So this picture, if you look at it very closely, I did some artificial blurring on this picture, and
I can see around the elbows.
Yeah, you can see. Yep. And let me see the file info here.
But you didn't blur the post behind her head.
let me finish tearing this thing apart. So first of all this white space all this, and then somehow I managed to position the pole to grow from her head, which, I think so. I have done several shoots with her. So before the show is over, I'm going to show some good pictures that I've taken with her, just so that Pern, if you are watching, don't get mad. So first of all, what was I shooting at? Okay. So I was actually shooting at f3.2, which definitely wouldn't have blurred. F3.2 on an 85 would not have blurred the background like this. I think this was when I had just discovered the Gaussian blur on Photoshop.
select the subject,
and I realized I could
blur the
mask the
background.
subject out and just blur this out and look like those quote unquote professionals. Yeah, and then if you look closely at her eyes, the eyes were too white. Like, this is not natural.
The devil eye.
Exactly.
The devil eye.
It's not natural. That's one thing a lot of beginner photographers do. I did
Mm-hmm.
it myself 5 years ago. So it's
been there myself.
Yeah. So and then the editing itself too was a little bit not quite, little. I think I was using the clarity bar. Lightroom just pull the clarity and then that's it. So yeah. So little things here and there. I think the horizon was kind of okay this time, and yep. Next person. Clarity and then
Paul, you want to go or you want me to go?
You go then, and then I'll go. Then I'll go after.
All right, let me. Sure. So I went a different direction with photo number 2. And I went to crappy HDR processing.
Yeah, the HDR there.
Yeah, the crappy HDR processing. The Photo Matrix software. Just run it through Photo Matrix, and that's what you get.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. It's just a phase that people go through, man. HDR are just done.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Do you guys
now,
remember,
if I want to, sorry, go ahead.
Do you guys remember when have you guys used is it Picasa? On
I've never used it, but I've heard of it.
That's now Google Photos.
Right. Okay. So it had this button, right? This button that says "I'm feeling lucky." My goodness, I love that button. when you hit it, it automatically goes and does some edits for you.
Yeah.
It was the best thing ever.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Tony says sometimes I go back and re-edit an old photo I had and see how far I come along. Yeah, and actually that's really true. Like whilst I was looking for images to show, I was looking at some older images that I feel like, wow, these were really good at that time, and I can actually post them on my IG now. And it's like some of them I feel like this image is so good. If I go back and re-edit, I could get it to look better, right?
Yeah.
So you sometimes go back and you look at all your stuff and you realize that I have improved so much that I can now make this image better than what it originally was when I shot it.
Yeah, like with something like this, instead of doing the HDR, I'd, create 3 separate images off of the one raw file, then use luminosity masking to blend them together, and it just creates a much more natural looking HDR photo. It's still HDR, but it doesn't have this cartoonish kind of look to it.
Yeah, you're right, Tony. And especially now, I mean, it's a great time to go back through old photos and just edit them because your editing skills are better too, along with your actual photography skills. So,
100%.
If you shot raw back then, or if you didn't, I mean, you may be able to salvage some photos that you took. Who knows, like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, and I'm just actually thinking about it because now I feel like I haven't been posting so much on Instagram because I haven't been shooting at all.
Exactly.
And now I just feel like I can go back through some of these images, work a little bit on them, and start reposting some of those.
Yeah, and the key is don't delete anything. Like just keep everything. Yep. Make sure your hard drive doesn't fail, but keep everything, and then you're fine. So it's
8 terabytes of backup drives currently.
Yeah. You just never know when someone needs a photo. Oh, I need a photo from 19 whatever. Like, okay, I got it.
None of my photos start with 19. Sorry. All right, Paul, number 2 for you.
Let me dig this gem out. You guys have it?
Oh, I see that. The Royal Alex there.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to do. I think it was probably one of my first attempts to try and do light trails.
Okay.
I kind of like these people like standing here. I kind of like that. I just noticed that.
Actually, if you were like to recrop this photo, it would actually be a half decent photo.
Might be. You didn't what? Just crop out the left side of the street.
Yeah. Just crop it in tighter
and the theater.
Focus on the theater with the people sitting there. It's actually might be a
and
decent
I probably
shot.
will cool it down a little bit, or put a little bit of blues in the shadows, and
pull back the highlights slightly. Yeah,
it's my next IG post tomorrow.
There you go.
And tag the Royal Alex.
Do it.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, this is probably one of my first attempts at light trails, and I had to ask people at the meetup like, how do you actually do them? Because I had no idea what to do. And it was a lot of fun because when you first start doing light trails, it's fun because it's kind of like a cool little trick, and it's actually not very difficult once you understand how it actually works. But the whole thing is just to like ask questions and understand how to do it, because then you can get images like, where was that one? Like this one, right? Like that. So that's like not even 4 years.
Not bad.
Right? So you just got to keep practicing and know like that streetcars, once you have a streetcar go through your frame, it's better for the light trail because it fills more of your
streetcars and buses. They're
streetcars
great.
And buses
and like, transport trucks, like nicely lit up transport trucks. Oh, that's so good for light trails.
Yeah.
I have one of the Brampton Transit zoomed on my Instagram. I still love that image. It's one of those light trails I did downtown Brampton.
Okay.
And tag murders, Ken.
Do it.
It's actually a good idea for the edit. Totally.
Okay. Well, all right. Let me. Oh, am I next?
I think so. Yeah, go for it.
That reminds me back of my last shoot tomorrow. Yes, you should back it up, man. Trust me.
Back it up.
Back it up. Back it up twice.
Yeah, and one thing I always say to people is that it doesn't matter whether you are learning to edit now or you even know how to edit. It's always important. I mean, if you have the space to shoot RAW plus JPEG, right, and then if you want to keep the RAWs for later on, you can come back to them and edit them at any time once you know how to really post process.
Totally. RAW plus JPEG all the time.
All right. So this picture I took in Ghana. I had gone back to visit, and then this girl is actually she's a Fulani. They are a nomadic tribe that they move with their cattle and stuff. So I was in the vehicle, and then she was walking by, and I asked to take her picture, and she's like, "Well, I have to pay her before I can take a picture."
Yeah.
So she asked for 1 Ghana cedi at the time. I'm like, okay, sure. So I gave her the 1 Ghana cedi. She just snatched it out of my hands and ran away. So then she saw how sad I looked with my camera, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Take it real quick." So here I had my Nikon D5200. It has a little pop-up flash on it. Yeah. So I popped the flash. It was dark, and I would try to shoot as shallow as I could because I had a 50 on there, 50-50, and it was struggling to focus in the darkness. But I mean, this was the best I got. But I just wish that I had at least photographed her outwards a little bit more and not force myself into this crop, which is just such a weird crop. I would have even liked it on the left side. It would just be more pleasing. It's just some things that bug me about this shot right now. But at the same time, the story doesn't change. It still reminds me of that moment when I was in the car and she pulled a little trick on me and she decided to come back and get the picture anyway. So
that's what photography is about.
I'm surprised she didn't ask you for more money.
I was surprised.
Price went up. Price went up.
Price went up. Hey, it's always great when a photo reminds you of a certain moment.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Like that's pretty cool, man. That's a pretty cool story, and that's really what photography is all about. It's about like the stories of the moments. So there's a lot of power to this photo.
Yeah, that's what's
notwithstanding like the look too, which is nice.
Right. All right.
It's a banger, man.
Thank you.
Early bangers. That was the backup name to our show.
So,
that's nice.
Yeah, this is the reason why I'm showing this is the story behind it, because I have a lot of other ones to show, but those are just family members and stuff like that. Because when I was learning to light and stuff like that, family members, my wife, there's a lot of tons of garbage pictures of my wife on my good photos because I was learning to light and I couldn't, and I was using her almost every day just to practice. Right? And this girl was the very first person outside of immediate families that I tried to shoot in a studio setting. Right? I had no studio at that time, but what I do at those days was I rent the community center. Right? So this was shot in one of the community centers in Brampton. When you go in there and I wanted to rent a space for photography, they actually give you a discount. So I ended up paying like $20 for like 5 hours.
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Really?
This was at Terry Miller. Yeah. As long as you tell them you're doing photography, they have a special discount for photographers, right?
Well, I'll have to remember that when everything's open again.
Yeah. I think all the city of Brampton places do it. So I rented this space for $20 or so, and then I had to haul my stuff in there, set up a backdrop, and I was learning to use gels as well. So you can see the blue gel behind her. This was a gray backdrop with a blue gel shooting back into it. But if you look at the edits, I really stuck at editing. You can see their face looks like it's sandy. You know what I mean? Like I was trying frequency separation. I was trying to learn frequency separation at all costs. So you can see all the, it's done, but it's not perfect. You can tell that this is an amateur's work done right there.
I like it. Yeah,
I actually might post this on my Instagram tomorrow.
Colors pop really nice on it. So
yeah. The yellow versus the blue.
The blue.
Yeah, it's cool. Very good, man. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Is it
my
turn or Paul's turn?
You go, Brian. I'll go after.
Let's go something a little more recent. This one. I changed up what I was talking to you about before the show, Paul.
Yeah.
So this is trying to develop more storytelling in my images and
#mood.
Get out
#mood
in bad weather and walk around and at night.
Is that snow added in?
Some of it.
Yeah.
Embellished a little bit. But it was a snowstorm in Toronto, and went downtown with Andre and another friend of ours, and we just walked around.
Yeah, and I really like the mood. It's got that Christmas vibe to it.
Yeah, it's just pushing yourself into situations where you're not like, I'm not much of a street photographer. I'm not comfortable with it most of the time, but I've been trying to push myself into it. So this is just one of those shots. We're just trying to get a shot of random strangers on the street.
Yeah, man. For sure. Yeah, it's always good trying different niches because it just keeps you on your toes. Like it keeps you fresh, right? You may get tired of doing portraits, and you may want to do something else for a little bit just to keep things different and fresh and new.
And doing things that make you uncomfortable helps you grow too. So
yeah, for sure.
it's something I'm getting better at, like the stranger shots.
For the stranger shots? Yeah.
Takes time.
Yeah, different when you have like a telephoto versus like only like a 50 mil. And you actually have to ask the person.
That was shot with a 16 mil. So
yeah, Tony's going. Looks like a painting. It's a Mr. McGowan piece, circa 2019.
That was 19. That was actually 19.
19.
Yeah, 2019. I've moved up a little bit now.
It's going to go on the auction block after the show, Tony. You're welcome to bid on it.
Prints are for sale.
I don't know what the asking price is, but I'm sure we'll figure it out.
I'll take anything. Prints are for sale.
I'll take it. Okay, I'll go.
I just want a cheeseburger.
Yeah, well, who doesn't these days?
I know, right?
Please. Okay, let me try to find this banger. Okay. Nah. Oh yeah, let's go with this beauty. This is Trinity Bellwoods.
Okay.
I think I used the miniature effect on my camera because these people like the photo looks weird.
It does. That blur is weird.
I'm pretty sure I don't know if you guys have ever used the miniature effect on your camera, but this is what it does. So it makes things look like you're in like a fantasy land. Yeah, this is probably 2017 also. And I mean, I still like this. I mean, I still like the framing of the CN but I always like say like you need to look for different ways to like shoot the tower because this shot's been done a million times. And you know, the more that you shoot the tower, like you can get stuff like this, which I shot like last year. Like you have to use different lenses. Is it going to show for me? Yes. Oh my God, it's opening in Photoshop. We don't want that.
Oh no.
Oh God. Let's maybe not do that.
Yeah, you're trying to open the raw.
Yeah.
You're trying to open a raw file, I think. Oh.
Yeah. Preview. Ew, why don't we just come back to this then?
Yeah, that's okay.
I'll come back to it, guys. This is frankly embarrassing. Okay, let's go for it, man.
Something more recent. Let's see where you are now.
Something more recent? Okay.
Yeah, let's see where you are now.
Okay. This is not exactly recent. It's 2 years ago, but I want to share it because it's the same picture of the first person I shared earlier. So that way the progression is with the same person.
You have to redeem her.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to do. So Paul, I'm sharing. I'm on.
Oh, sorry. I'm not doing a very good job.
The host is slacking.
Yeah, the host is slacking. He's not paying attention. All right, so this is probably
a big difference. Yeah,
2 years
huge difference.
Later, yeah. Huge difference. But I still see that this is a hallway. So if there's a slant here, then I still don't understand how it's still slightly slanted. But apart from that, the lighting is much better. The editing was a little crispy. I've improved. It's been 2 years, but definitely it's just, shows that once you keep at it, you're gonna grow and get better and be able to tell what is better than what. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
no, that looks a lot nicer.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that little edge light you have on your side there.
Actually, the edge light was just a speed light. A speed light without anything. That's why you have this strong little white stuff coming through.
Okay.
It was just a speed light that was sitting right there on a stand, and then the main light was
just a little flare from it.
Right. The main light was, of course, my 8600, which I'm still using. I don't know how many shots I've taken with that light. I've taken more than 20,000 shots with that light, and it's still going. I don't know.
Yeah, 8600 is a beast, man.
It's a beast.
Yeah, the Godox stuff in general. Like I use an 8360.
Yeah.
The Godox 8360 has been great for me for a number of years too. So
yeah, and that one was released long before the 8600.
Yep.
And it's still a very good flash to use?
Any flash is a good flash if you know how to use it, though.
Yep.
That's the
Okay,
thing.
I'm going to share one of the old bad ones first before I move to a recent one.
Sweet.
Okay.
This one?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
So this particular image, whew, this was an image I shot of my sister-in-law on a boat cruise here downtown Toronto. And man, I was letting reflections, right? So I was always out there looking out for reflections and stuff. And I said, man, I got this shot. I like it.
Yeah.
I went home, edited it, but then, as you can see, the edit is way too overdone. It doesn't even look realistic anymore. And I probably could. my lines are all messed up.
Yeah.
And I probably could have just crop out this guy on the right hand side as well, and just maybe make it a little tighter and on the left.
Yeah.
And the
Shoot
reflection
it on the window. Shoot it on the window.
But man, my what do you call it? Frequency separation sucked those days.
Yeah. Did you tell her, can you get against the window?
Terrible. Yeah, the funny thing is that she liked it too. They all liked it. And I was like, okay.
You liked it.
But now I'm looking back and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? Overdoing it so much.
You got a few things right in the picture. So, that's just how it has to be. Like sometimes.
Yep.
Lots of failures to get to the good ones.
Exactly.
Yep.
Those boat cruises, man, are a party.
Yeah.
Those boat cruises. I've done a couple of those things. Man, God, they're a party.
Yeah.
The good old days when you can leave your house.
Yeah, way back
Bryan,
then.
you want to go?
Yeah, I can. Let me go to something, again, a little more recent. Just on the landscape front. Just to keep it a little different from the portraits.
Right.
Yep.
Share screen.
Left to Evans and I alone. We'll be sharing portraits all day.
All day, man.
Evans, are you doing a premiere? Evans, are you doing a premiere tonight?
Oh yeah, I scheduled my my video for today.
Oh really?
I always release my videos on Wednesdays after the show.
Okay.
But now I think I made a mistake. Apparently now my best time to post is at 6:00. I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
But it always used to be at 9. So I used to post it at 8:30 and then let it go. But I don't really care. I still post it.
1,000 images in our archives. Do you think digital allow people to use quantity over quality? Discuss. Tony with a banger question. Choose wisely.
Yes.
I think it's allowed people to experiment more without being pressure to get the shot right away.
Right. Yeah, it certainly opens you up to just playing more and trying more things.
Yep.
Because you don't have any cost associated with developing.
Yeah, and I think it's giving us a lot more flexibility, right? So you just play around. If you don't like it, delete it. Back in the days, if you can't just go shoot film and delete it, you're gonna have to shoot it, develop it to see what it looks like, right? So it was
then
more
trying to remember what you did.
Yeah.
Also, when you're first starting, you don't have anything to work off, so you need to shoot a lot to understand how things work. Mm-hmm. So you really only have quantity. You don't really have quality when you first start.
Yeah. Right, like just like you said, if I were to quote unquote choose only the quality pictures to save back in 6-7 years ago, I bet you I wouldn't make the best choices today. Yeah, yep. So I wouldn't have made the best choices, and all the others would have been discarded, which probably would have been bangers, right? Like Paul would say.
Yeah.
So
you can't have bangers right away. You got to work for them.
Right.
Yep.
The only time I actually delete anything is if maybe when I bring the images back and I'm looking at it, I see dark frames, I see out of focus, completely not usable stuff. Then maybe I'll clean them up to save space. But outside of that, I select the ones I'm gonna maybe deliver and then keep everything else.
Yep.
Yeah. So
did that help answer your question, Tony? Or
hope so.
Let us know. You should come on one day and then we can have a real good debate.
Yeah. So this image is Tiffany Falls in Hamilton.
Yeah.
And it's just pushing myself to shoot landscapes where not everything's in focus. Because everybody always says, shoot your landscapes at f22 or whatever, get everything in focus. And I didn't want that for this shot. I wanted the background to be out of focus slightly. So it was just learning how to manipulate your aperture and through experience.
Depth of field.
To get the look you want.
Yep.
I love that waterfall.
It's a pretty spot.
It's a nice spot. It's a good spot.
Yeah.
It's been there a bunch.
Yeah, it's such
Shot
a
that
nice
last
spot.
year? Shot that last year or the year before?
In the fall. This past fall.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, use a ND to smooth out the water, and then boom.
Yeah, shallowed up the fields.
Nothing
not too
really
shallow.
Nothing really too. You just need an ND filter, really.
Yeah.
And those leaves.
Yeah, go out on a rainy day. You get better stuff.
Shoot in the rain.
Shoot in the rain. Shoot in the snow.
Shoot. Okay, here's that CN Tower pic that finally loaded. Can you guys see it? Can you guys even see it?
Yeah.
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, anyway, that's what I'm saying. Just use like different framing and use like a different lenses to get different shots of overshot stuff, and then you may have an images that you like. Let's see what I can do. Let me do that. What else do I have? When Photoshop wants to give you problems, it wants to give you problems. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I bounced up my last one. You don't have to jump to it now. I just put it there for you to click on later.
All right. Let me see. Okay, maybe I'll do this one. Okay, I think it's gonna work.
Fingers crossed.
I hope so. So this isn't. Do you guys have this picture, the Toronto reference library?
We can't see it.
Can't see anything yet.
Give it a second. See it now?
Nope.
Nope. Paul, the host. Host is messing up.
Weird.
Time to fire the host.
Fire me, man.
Oh, finally.
Something's coming now.
Hey, we'll find the
okay.
host, and we'll make sure
Got
you
it.
attend the inauguration of the next host.
It's all right. Okay, Brian, let's show yours, and then I'll go after yours because I don't know why yours is giving me
I'll
problems.
go share it again then. I stopped sharing it just in case that was the problem.
Nah, it shouldn't be.
So this will be my last one.
All right.
And this is a culmination of my editing skills improving, overall photography skills improving. This was shot in early December when we could actually go outside and do stuff.
It's a great shot.
Just learning how to convey a mood.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
Nice.
Applause to Laura for getting in the lake in December.
Yeah, I hope
That
we
girl
can.
is a trooper, man.
She offered. So I wasn't going to say no once she offered.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? She offered.
Yep. I was going to be nice to her, which is not normal because I've had her in the water in the cold before for some of our special effects makeup shoots. But I was going to be nice to her, and she offered. And that's what we came up with.
Very nice, very nice.
Judy.
And there is actually off-camera flash in that shot too.
The fact that it was cold makes this picture more special, you know?
Yeah.
It was maybe 1 degree Celsius out, so like 32, 33 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, that's cold.
Yeah. First, like 7 o'clock in the morning kind of thing.
Nice.
So yeah, just how the skills have developed over the years, both in editing and photography, and just knowing what I want and being able to get it too.
Love the
Yep.
shot. Love the
Um,
shot.
Very
yeah,
nice.
sharing one of my recent shots. I don't know if Brian, you recognize this place. This is
I know exactly where that is.
our favorite spot out there.
Yep. I know exactly where that is.
This one, just showing the progression with my lighting and light positioning and my editing stuff. This one, if you see this face, I didn't really do much in terms of frequency separation and other stuff. I've kind of moved away a little bit from that. I just do a little bit just to smooth out the skin as a little bit as possible, clean out a little bit blemishes and stuff, but not too much of the frequency separation stuff. And this is just a one light shot, and then I think it was the Godos AD 200. So this is the setup I used for that shot. I had a Godox AD 200 inside this big, octa, coming down straight
nice
up.
parabolic, yeah.
Yep, nice parabolic coming down right up on her. So yeah, that's the BTS, and that's what we ended up with.
That's a nice shot. I like that.
Black and white.
It's a great
Very
shot.
nice.
That's nice. Looks good.
Yep.
Sweet. Oh,
All right.
Jeez, what's this?
All right. So I
What is
was part of this pretty cool domestic violence awareness shoot about 2 days ago.
Oh, nice.
And these are still I haven't edited them yet. I just selected a few, and I kind of like some of the pictures, like to be able to achieve something like this without any hand editing and pretty much just making sure the lights balance each other. This was in a completely dark, abandoned warehouse that we were at. So,
look at you all going all abandoned explorer on us here.
Now you're doing Brian stuff.
I felt like Brian for the first time. I was in there, but then there were a lot of people. There were, I would say, I don't know, 15 photographers and probably 30 models and stuff.
Cool.
So a bunch of these images I'm going to process and add to they have a website that they're going to post the stuff on, and all these people are strangers. We just came together and decided to create something on the spot. So
that's fantastic.
I thought it was pretty cool.
So cool, man.
So I got to meet so many people at the same time. And
no more complaining about the Dallas community there now.
I know, right? And now all of them
now you're making friends.
All of them want to do shoots now. I don't think I can see this. There was a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. I put a blue light in the back.
That's nice.
And I let it. I think this one might have been better, where she actually bent down to look through the hole.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's a lot more dramatic. I like that.
Right.
And your verticals are straight in that one too.
Boom.
You've learned how to level.
Tony. Guys, if you travel back in time and speak to younger photographers, so what's the one piece of advice you would give? Tony's got some hard questions today.
Experiment more without worrying about what other people think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would say that along the same lines as Brian just said, because right now you're not shooting film, right? You're not worried about wasting money. It's SD cards. I don't know why people even worry about shot accounts. I don't. Right? Just shoot as much as you can, but just don't shoot randomly. Shoot with a purpose, right? So, that's one of the things I figured out when you are practicing and learning. Shoot with a purpose. Have something in mind. Sometimes we say we are practicing, but we are not really doing practicing. We're just shooting around and just shooting for the sake of shooting, right? But don't shoot for the sake of shooting. Shoot with a purpose. So even though it may be practice and you may be shooting a cup on your dining room table, shoot it with a purpose. What I mean by a purpose is that try different angles, try different stuff. Have an idea in your mind that this is just a basic cup. What can I do to make this cup look interesting? That kind of stuff, right? So you have a purpose and a meaning behind what you're doing. Not just that I've put a cup on the table and I'm shooting it, right? So shoot with a purpose. Practice.
And don't buy so many camera bags. Truth.
Don't buy too many. Yes, and gear. Don't let gear become a crutch, right?
I would say
become a crutch.
Don't buy cheap tripods. Don't end up buying 12 tripods when you could have invested in one good one and used it for 12 years. So
sometimes cheap, feels like it's good, but in the long term, you end up paying twice, right? And I can give you a perfect example. Like I've told you guys, I wanted to learn how to light, right? And instead of buying lights that will last, my goal was to buy the cheapest ones that I wanted to buy, right? So I got the young Nuos, I got a whole bunch of stuff, and then I ended up not being able to use them down the line, right? I bought a lot of other stuff that, I mean, if we talk gear, when I started, gear was my thing, right? And even now, gear is my thing, except that now I do it because I review gear, right? But don't let the gear be the main focus of your photography. If gear becomes the focus of your photography, then I don't know, like you're narrowing yourself too much, and you may end up not learning the actual basics and the actual fundamentals the right way, right? So what you have in your hand is the best thing that you can use, right? And if you're going to invest in gear, make sure you're buying the best thing out there. Yep, your cell phone.
Use your phone.
Great cameras.
Yeah. Shoot, and then use Snapseed to edit. You don't have to spend any money. I would probably say, Tony, meet like-minded people as soon as you can, because it will really help you in the long run. It will really help you develop. So that's what I would probably tell myself. But you don't know what you don't know, right? You don't know if you like photography, if you want to keep doing it. You just start shooting one day, and then the more you do it, you realize you just want to keep doing it. So it's also a process too at the same time. And also, like, social media wasn't as big, 5, 7, 8 years ago versus today, where it's like everywhere, like all the time. And photography is so accessible now.
Yeah, and
everyone's a photographer, but not everyone's a photographer.
Yeah, and like Paul said, finding like-minded people is really important, right? In the last year or two, with Get Out and Shoot, it's been eye-opening, right? I met a whole lot of people. I've tried stuff that I would never try on my own. Light painting with Bryan, still world stuff.
Get you out to an abandoned.
Yeah, that's the only thing probably I haven't done yet. I've been exploration.
Waiting for that.
Yeah, so
meeting people. Can go out again.
Yeah, meeting people and learning from each other is a good way to develop quickly. Like I told you guys, when I started, I was fortunate because I had a mentor, right? I had somebody who was already doing wedding photography that I worked with for a while. And that also helps. So if you can find someone to take you under their wings, in the direction where you want to go, that will also help you grow a lot faster and avoid making some of the mistakes that we make if you're alone.
Yeah, that's others.
Tony is asking if they had internet like
meetups
back in the day. What I know is way back in the day, I wanted to go for a photography workshop, and I had to pay. They said it will cost $5,000 for some photography basics, something like that. This was before YouTube that everybody's now teaching stuff. So of course I never went.
Yeah, they did have meetups, but you have to pay. Like this guy, Linear.
Yep, it was all
his whole model is meetups, right? Workshops. Yep. Yeah, but they were pretty expensive.
That's crazy.
Because you have to travel to go meet the person, all that stuff.
Right. That's wild.
Weird. It's weird how everybody's teaching everything for free now,
Oh, that's the thing.
One person knew it, and they wouldn't teach you unless you pay them. And even if you pay them, they only taught you a little bit of it so that they still remain the king of the town.
Yeah, to take the next class, and then the next class.
And then the next class, and you keep coming.
Yeah.
That's the thing, right? Let me see if I can share a couple before we end this thing. You guys have this up?
Yep.
Cool. So this is Toronto Reference Library. Yeah, it's actually a really good place to shoot. You just need to sign a permit that you're not going to
snuck in and shot.
Yeah, well, like I was only with like someone else, and then they saw us and they made us sign like a permit saying we weren't going to sell the photo. I said, well, no, we're just here to shoot for ourselves. But
I just walked in, took photos, and walked out.
Yeah, it's actually a really, really cool place to shoot architecture.
It is.
Really cool building. Let me see what I got. A couple of puddle shots somewhere. This guy. I think this is going to be small. Yeah, distillery. So it's kind of interesting, but again, it's just putting the effort to like look for a shot. So you got this cool puddle shot, and then like the more that you practice, you can get something like that, right? Because you're just like working, you're just looking for it now, right? So you're like training your eye.
Now we got to get you laying down on the ground at the edge of that puddle.
Oh man, buddy, we had this. This was a meetup. This was a meetup, and there were like 10 of us, or like 12 of us, like around this puddle.
Around this puddle.
Like, people were walking by us, like staring at us, like, "What are you guys doing?"
You know that one typical shot with the two towers at the TD Center and the CN Tower in the middle?
Yeah.
I was shooting that one night, laying on the ground, and some guy actually offered me money because he thought I was homeless laying on the ground. Because he didn't see the camera. Right. He thought I was homeless laying on the ground. And I had like $12,000 worth of camera gear on me, and the guy offered me $5 to buy a sandwich. Yeah.
You should have taken it and said thank you.
Alex, I just went on my phone to look at to post on Instagram, of course.
Yes.
You probably have some cool stuff in there.
Okay, let me share this last image.
Yeah.
Now, this is just to show that
nice.
Yeah.
This shot here, you know, when we are learning, we are all told, "Oh, shoot portraits with a telephoto lens and stuff like that." Like I always say, learn the basics of the rules, and then once you understand the rules and what they are, you choose when you want to break them, right?
Yeah.
So this one was at a meetup we had at Graffiti Alley, and I had just got the Tamron, I think 17 to 20 to 25 or something, and I was testing that lens out. So I said, I mean, why not? Why do I have to shoot all the landscapes with this lens? So tried out some portraits, some fun stuff, right? So
Cindy's great too.
Just be creative with stuff.
Use a landscape lens for a portrait, or a wildlife lens for a landscape. Just mix it up. They don't have to be used for what people think they have to be used for.
Correct. There was this guy, 924 Photography. The guy uses a 600 millimeter lens for a portrait shoot.
Really?
They look pretty dope. They look dope.
Yeah.
He was on a live with Sigma, and you know they got him on there because he was the only one that was using that for portraits on YouTube. Yep. And
I've used my 400 for portraits. I should actually do a video on using a 400 for portraits.
You should do it.
You should do it.
The compression behind the 400
that's crazy. It's great.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Tony, I think back in the day we just went to events, car shows to shoot. Yeah, probably.
Yep.
Yeah,
or you go to like, the
longer
shows,
the lens,
the air shows.
Yeah, I guess that's how it was done. I mean, that's just the power of social media now. You don't have to wait for anything. You just ask someone.
Well, you can organize your own car show.
Organize your own car show.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know, how many cars do you have to do a car show?
I'm sure you could get if you put word out, you could get a bunch of people to show up with all their tuners and stuff.
Mm-hmm. People have spent hours working on that.
Yeah, those guys love to show off their cars.
Exactly. They just want to show off their cars.
Exactly.
They love cars like we love cameras.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Great. Cool, guys. Should we call it?
I think so.
Yep. I think next week we're on Mr. Bryan James's channel.
Mr. Bryan James is not here with us, but he might be in the back just watching us, supervising health and safety.
Health and safety.
Final thoughts, guys? Mr. McGowan?
Experiment. I say it every time we end this show. Just experiment, play, and evolve. Always evolve. Yeah. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching.
Great name for a brand, Evolve.
Evolve.
Evermore Media, Evolve Media.
That would be Adorama.
Yeah.
Evolve.
Yep. Evolve 200.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, buddy. Meeks, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Yes. So it's a process. I mean, you shouldn't. There are some who start and within a few months they get really really good. It's possible, but some things come as I call it muscle memory, and that just takes some time. It just takes some time. So it's okay. Just don't be disappointed when you start and your pictures are not where you want them to be. It's also because of the internet today. Because of the internet, you get the chance to see very good people all at once, so many of them all at once, and those are the posts that get the most likes and the most engagement. So you see very good posts most of the time, and that can easily discourage you. Don't let that discourage you at all. Just keep working at your own pace and make sure you try to improve something small every time, and then you get better. We are all improving every day. I'm sure 2 years from now I'll be so much better than I am today.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing to it.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. So we have 10 people watching, and I only see 6 thumbs up. So before you leave, guys, don't forget to give the thumbs up. Right?
I'm taking that personally.
And subscribe
to everybody.
Subscribe to the channels. And all I want to say is that keep practicing, right? On this channel, on this show, you guys know we're not afraid to show you guys the good, the bad, the ugly. We want to keep it real because we're all learning. So don't be worried, don't be sad, or don't feel some way if your images are not looking good right now, because when you start, it's not rocket science. It's not like you just start today and tomorrow you're better, right? It takes time. You grow and you develop your skills as you go. So like I said, practice creatively, practice with a purpose. Have a mindset that maybe this week I'm practicing this technique. Work on it, right? That's how you grow. That's how you perfect your act. That's how you get to the point where you want to be. You don't shoot with a purpose, practice with a purpose. Whilst you're home, you can shoot anything. Stuff in the kitchen, stuff in the washroom.
There's always something.
Just practice till you get to the point where you want to be.
100%.
Well
said.
And don't forget, go watch my video coming up at 9 o'clock.
Is it a premiere?
I think I schedule it. I don't think it's a premiere. Is it?
Premiere.
If you've seen it, then it's a premiere. Yeah. I thought I just scheduled it.
Right. I'll jump
Let's
on.
go.
Yeah, like Tony said, the show, it's fun, but I mean, Tony's saying it's also great for mental health, which is so important these days. And I think that's one of the great things about photography is that, at the most basic form, it's like a distraction. It's like a stress reliever. It's like a mental break. And I think, like Evan said, there's always something to shoot at home. Use still life, use fruit, use mirrors, get really creative and have some fun, because even just for half an hour, you get the mental break and you feel a lot better. So I think that's one of the major powers of photography is that you can do it. You just need to get a little bit creative and just have some fun. You don't have to post them. It's just for you, right? So it's a great, especially these days. And the great thing about photography is that there's no right or wrong answer. Like, do it. Okay, great, whatever. So thanks, Tony, for pointing that out, and thanks for your questions. And yeah, I guess that wraps it up. Thanks, everyone, for jumping on. And I guess we'll be on Mr. Brian James next week, whatever that may be. But I'm sure we'll let you guys know when we know, which is always fun.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, thanks, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, guys. Take care.
Guys.